You are 3 years old, and you are already taller than your father's workbench. Not because you are standing on something, because you are a Tartarian. Your city has no name in any surviving record. The streets are wide enough for 4 wagons side by side. The ceilings inside the civic halls are 40 meters above the floor. Not 40 feet, 40 meters. Your father helped set the keystone on the last edition. He is 3 meters tall, and he still needed 2 men beneath him to reach it. You are not remarkable for your size. Everyone in your city is built the same. The ones who are small, and you learned this word early, are the traders from the flatland settlements. They arrive at the outer gates with grain and cloth and that specific expression on their faces. Not quite awe, not quite fear. You will spend the rest of your life seeing that expression in every set of eyes that looks up at you. You will never stop recognizing it. By 15, you understand the energy system. The copper spires on every public building pull electrical charge from the atmosphere and route it through conducting channels cut into the load-bearing stone, into heating elements buried under the floors. No fire, no fuel, no smoke. The city hums. You feel it in your palms when you press them flat against any outer wall. A low, steady vibration, like the stone itself is breathing. You grow up thinking every city works this way. It takes years to understand that outside the empire, people burn wood to stay warm. That outside the empire, the dark is just dark. Your father is a master builder. On weekends, he takes you to the construction sites at the eastern edge of the city, where a new civic wing is going up. You watch men 3 meters tall move dressed stone blocks that would take 40 ordinary men to lift. They use a system of counterweights and channeled pressure. No ropes, no pulleys in the way the outside world would understand them. The mathematics involved are not written down anywhere you can find. They exist in the hands of the builders, passed from father to child, from your father to you. By 18, you can read a foundation plan. By 20, you can draft one. I'll say this honestly. This is the part that stays with me. Because the buildings from this era that are still standing have pipes in their walls that lead nowhere. Chambers in their foundations with no documented function. Channels cut with the precision of machining, running in directions that serve no structural purpose. The official answer is always the same word: decorative. The people who engineered self-supporting domes without steel reinforcement were filling time with pipe art. That has never satisfied me. You are 22 when the winter starts and does not end. Not in 1 year, not in 2. The eastern harvest comes in short, then shorter, then the messengers stop coming entirely. Then one arrives, his horse dead at the gate, with a report the city council takes 3 days to accept. The ground in the east is rising. Not the ground, a layer. A deep tide of wet sediment moving across the flatlands at the speed of a slow flood, swallowing everything below the 3rd story of any building in its path. The short people's villages are already gone. Their rooftops are under 2 meters of gray-brown silt. The layer is still moving west. You run the calculation the night the first messenger arrives. The city has maybe 14 months. What follows is not a battle. You cannot put an army between yourself and geology. The empire does not fall to an enemy. It does not collapse from within. It gets buried. The layer arrives slow and total and completely indifferent. And by the time it reaches the outer walls, it is 4 meters deep in the fields beyond them. You watch from the eastern tower on the last clear morning. It moves like fog, heavier, darker, and silent in a way that is worse than any sound you have ever heard. The free energy channels go quiet first, then the heat under the floors, then the hum in the walls. The city goes cold and silent in that order, over 3 days, like something enormous falling asleep. Some people leave, most stay, most choose to go down with what they built. Your father is one of them. He goes back to the civic hall where he set the keystone. You don't ask why. You already know. You leave at the last possible moment with 38 others. You carry nothing except what fits in 2 hands. You move north, because north is the only direction the layer hasn't reached, and you walk into a world that was not built for you. Every doorway in every village is 1.5 meters high. Every bridge is uncertain under your weight. Every road narrows to a track made for people half your size. And every village empties before you reach its edge. Doors slamming, children pulled inside, someone always running. You are not trying to threaten anyone. You are walking. But a Tartarian walking toward a village looks, from inside that village, like something that belongs in a story told to frighten children into staying indoors. And there is no way to explain yourself to people who are already gone. You learn to move at night. You learn to read the forest for shelter before the sun drops. You learn which berries are edible in the latitudes you've never lived in before, because the knowledge you grew up with, the physicians, the libraries, the botanical archives in the civic halls, is now 4 meters underground. You are working from memory. Memory runs out faster than you expect. By 35, there are 11 of you left. Cold has taken some. A river crossing has taken others. One died in a village on a night that none of you ever speak about afterward. The world outside your circle has no name for what you are. You are giants. You are demons. You are a nightmare that moves through the northern forests and occasionally appears at the edge of a settlement long enough to confirm that nightmares are real. At 40, there are 6. And then one afternoon, a young man from a village 2 days south finds your camp. He is not armed. He stands at the tree line and looks at you with that expression, the one from the outer gates, from the traders, from the whole world you used to live in. Not quite awe, not quite fear. He does not run. After a very long time, he takes one step forward. He has no memory of the empire. He has no framework for what you are. To him, you are not a Tartarian. You are not history. You are a figure from a story his grandmother told on cold nights to explain why the old buildings in the lowlands had doors too tall to make sense. And in that moment, you understand, with a completeness that takes the air out of you, how thoroughly the world has already moved on. The copper spires are underground. The civic halls are underground. The energy channels, the libraries, the 40-meter ceilings, your father's keystone, all underground. Above them, the short people are building new cities, smaller and smokier, with low ceilings and fireplaces and no hum in the walls. And when they dig foundations and hit carved stone too precise to be natural, they call it Roman, Byzantine, old, something with a name that fits their version of events. You spend an afternoon with him. He asks questions you don't know how to answer in his language. You draw things in the dirt, the spires, the channels, the dome of the main civic hall. He stares at the drawings for a long time. Then he looks up at you, then back at the drawings. Then he carefully smooths the dirt over with his foot, like he's afraid of what someone else might think if they saw them. You understand that too. Some things are easier to erase than to explain. You live 16 more years. The legend grows faster than you age. You become the giant of the northern forest, then the giant of the northern mountains, then something with horns in the version 3 villages over. By the time you die, in the forest, in the cold, with 2 others beside you, the civilization you came from has been reduced to folklore so completely that even the word Tartarian is starting to disappear from the maps. Your bones go into the earth like everything else, somewhere under a field in central Eurasia, or under the foundation of a train station in the American Midwest, or beneath the floor of a cathedral in northern Spain that no architect alive can fully explain. You are still there, a skeleton 3 meters long, maybe not yet found, maybe already found, documented in an internal report that was never published, sitting in a locked room in a museum basement, waiting for a context the official record cannot provide without breaking everything built on top of it. Somewhere tonight, someone with 3 monitors and too much coffee is watching drone footage of a building they cannot explain. They are zooming in on a window set 12 meters above the ground, a window sized for someone who is not 5 feet 8. They are asking out loud, to no one, who was this built for? The question is older than they know, and the answer is still in the ground.